Hey everyone, thank you very much for tuning in today. I hope you all had an amazing weekend. Maybe spend some time with your family or your friends, gathered around the TV, watch some football. Lots of great games on yesterday, so hopefully you got to enjoy some fun festivities. Well, today's agenda, we're talking about classic, timeless fragrances. Some from the old, reimagined, whatever have you. I've got it on display here for you today. This is not my entire collection of classic, fragrances. Maybe a part two if you guys really enjoy this one. Who knows? So stay tuned after the intro. We're going to be talking about and discussing these fragrances. So hang tight. All right, guys, I would love to hear from you. If you guys, you see the list or whatever, maybe you read the description, and you're into, classic, timeless fragrances. Maybe you have a little collection of your own. You want to share some thoughts on what you have, a fragrance of choice, maybe. Go ahead, comment below. Let me know. I will tell you straight up front here, I don't have any vintage bottles. I'm not a vintage bottle collector at the moment. I was dabbling in that space a year or two ago, and that really would have been the prime time to buy it, because now the prices have climbed. Yeah, it seems like upwards of $150 to $200 more than last year. So I really should have jumped on them then, but oh well, here we are. So I'm not totally against vintage bottles. I would love to have some vintage bottles. It's just price point is just what's kind of deterring me from making those purchases. But anyway, let's get to the list here. So I want to kick it off the honorable mention in the 6th spot, if you will. I didn't rank these, but it's River Fougere by Dior. So this is a reimagined, clone of Yves Saint Laurent's Rive Gauche. I did check pricing on eBay for Rive Gauche. 250 plus is what I'm sorry, 225 plus is what I've been seeing for that fragrance. Dan Naughton, Mr. Smelly 1977, turned me on to this. I'm a huge fan of his channel. I love learning about classic fragrances before my time. It's just cool to see, kind of fragrances, what they are today as compared to what they are or what they were in the past. And I've got to say, in the past, they are just smoking us to what has been coming out in recent day. But anyway, here, River Fougere, sorry about the tangent, that happens from time to time, but River Fougere is great. You have some green elements here, very, kind of bright green. You have this this shaving soap accord in here, which is going to be the Fougere, the barbershop familiarity, if you will, there. What a fantastic one this is. Definitely classic, classy, but not dated whatsoever. It's a real shame that Yves Saint Laurent discontinued that fragrance. I thoroughly would have enjoyed that personally, but I'm sure sales had a lot to do with that. Maybe sourcing ingredients. Who knows what the case is with the discontinuations? But it sucks. But this is where I think, in my opinion, where clone houses really shine, giving us fragrances of old that have been discontinued that some of us are just dying to get our hands on but can't for reasons that I disclosed maybe in the beginning. But what a fantastic one this is. Dior, they don't know me. I don't know them. They're always running great deals though. So definitely check this out. Full retail on this is $66, but they're always running that 25% and whatever. But check it out, River Fougere. If you like classic Fougere fragrances and you like the description I gave you, this might be worth checking out. So make sure you do it. Okay, so now to kick the list off proper. I did this in chronological order. So 1916 was the year that Colonia from Acqua di Parma came out. I have a lot of history with this because let me tell you, growing up in an Italian family, whatever, man, did I smell this stuff a lot. Holy crap. This and Polo Green were the two fragrances that I smelled a ton. There's another fragrance that I smelled a lot that I'll talk about a little bit later on. But man, is this stuff so good. This is another one. It's not really my favorite fragrance in the world, but this will always be in my collection just to kind of remind me of those memories in my early childhood, growing up and just smelling this. Every time I smell this, it just puts a smile on my face. But this here, you have Sicilian citruses, you have lavender, of course. You have lemon verbena. You have sandalwood in here. Patchouli, of course. It's like a citrus, floral, very bright citrus too. Floral barbershop style fragrance, and a fantastic one at that. I really do love this. Where I said is like River Fougere was more of a green type of a fougere, you know, with that shaving soap accord. This one is like a true barbershop, but very bright, very refreshing. And I know my buddy Christopher David Bailey is going to watch this video, and he will know this as Piacenza from Sterling. That's their dupe, if you will. That wet shaving company. That's their dupe of this fragrance. They did a great job with that. But Acqua di Parma Colonia, man, this stuff it's incredible. It's timeless. It's classic. It's just so great. It's a wonderful, wonderful fragrance, and to me, it'll never ever lose its appeal. At least in my opinion. Acqua di Parma Colonia. Next, I'm going to be talking about Vetiver from the house of Guerlain. Now, this fragrance here is a little bit newer, okay? I purchased this one, I think, maybe 3 months ago, something like that. I was talking to my good friend, Sebastian. I'm sure you know who Sebastian is. He's over at a fragrance channel called Looking, Feel... Oh, no, he changed it. He's just the perfume guy now, but Looking, Smelling, Feeling Great Fragrance Reviews is the channel. So I was talking to him and I said, you know, I want some classic fragrances that I could get my hands on that I don't have to pay an arm and a leg for. And within the discussion, he had recommended Guerlain Vetiver. Man, I am so happy to have this in my collection. Now, this one was originally launched in 1961, but then relaunched in the year 2000. Now, again, I'm not crazy about batch codes. I don't get mixed into all that. I don't really care. All I care about is, does it give me an idea of what this would have smelled like back in the day? And it does that. And would I still wear it today? Actually, I do. I really love this fragrance. It's so great. You have bergamot in here. You have tobacco. So that combination of bergamot and tobacco, which seemed like it was pretty common with fragrances, you know, back in the day. And this kind of reminds me of that, of older style fragrances. But you also have things in here that make it appeal a little bit more modern. You know, your lemon, your neroli is in here. You also have a double dose of vetiver, of course, your oak moss, your leather. Fantastic one. I believe Jean-Paul Guerlain definitely, he definitely was the perfumer here, the owner of the brand. Yeah, I mean, frig, Guerlain. But anyway, man, this stuff is so fantastic. It's very bright. That note of lemon and that combination of neroli carries throughout the life of the fragrance. Obviously, vetiver here is going to be your star player. This stuff is just fantastic. If you're like in a bad mood or something, or you know, you're just not feeling yourself, spray this stuff, and man, does it change your mood almost instantly, or at least it'll, you know, give you a nice pick-me-up and make you just feel better. It's so good. Oh, for those of you that are familiar with Chanel Sycamore, this would be like an older style of that fragrance. To me, in my opinion, because I do have both, I have a decant of Sycamore, that kind of reminds me, I guess what I'm trying to say, I'm sorry there. What I'm trying to say is Sycamore seems like a more modernized version of this. So maybe they borrowed some inspiration from this fragrance to create that. Both are great. This one is just fantastic. And you pick this up for like $33, $35 on fragrancenet.com. Fantastic one here, guys. If you like vetiver, but you want something a little bit more old school, not so much of this new school thing that's going on with vetiver fragrances, check out Guerlain Vetiver. Fantastic stuff. Okay, so now we are going to move to 1980. We're going to talk about the house of Floris. We are going to talk about the fragrance Elite. The color of the juice says it all. When I see green juice, I instantly think of aftershave, like Brut, you know, things of that nature. And that's kind of, you know, this fragrance does fall into that category. So my friend Drew, who also has a fragrance channel, he better get his butt back in gear and give us some more reviews. Love his channel, love the guy. What a fantastic friend he is to me. I love him. He's a great guy. But anyway, Drew from Monkey's Tropical Adventure, we were talking about this fragrance, and he's like, dude, you have to get it. And man, you're so right. This is my scent of the day today. I friggin' adore this stuff. I really do. It's green. It's woody. It's very, very aromatic. It really does, you know, have this classic old school type of vibe, but then again, you know, it reminds me of, it has lavender, so it does remind me of that, like, that aftershave feel. You know, when you get a fresh haircut and then the barber pats the aftershave on the back of your neck where he, you know, after he's finished with the hot shave. That's exactly what this reminds me of. It is so good. That's why I said, you know, in that vein or in that space of your brutes of the world, things like aftershave like that, this definitely falls into that category there. I love the way this stuff smells. My girlfriend approves of this. Not really her favorite, but then again, she's, you know, a couple of years younger than me, and I'm just in my mid-30s. But I do appreciate old school, old style fragrances, especially ones that are timeless classics like this. I just love this stuff. I really, really do. If you haven't checked out Elite by Floris, you definitely have to sample this. Check this one out. It's definitely worthy of trying. But yeah, guys, Floris Elite. So the next fragrance that I'm going to be talking about took two perfumers to get the job done. Jean-Louis Suzak and Michael Almerac. So this is Dior. This is Fahrenheit. My God. 1988 launch. I know we did like a bunch of Fougeres and then we kind of threw this one in the mix. But I think this was classified as some type of Fougere, maybe an amber Fougere or something like that. But there is nothing about this fragrance that reminds me of a Fougere. So I don't know what was going on back in 1988, but maybe they were smoking some funny stuff or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, this fragrance is so nice. You know, if you can get past that petroleum note, you're going to love this. I know it. There's like, it's one of those fragrances that what is in here that you could possibly not like. It's a little bit on the sweet side. You know, it's got things like tonka in it, but then again, it's a little woody. There's honeysuckle in here as well, contributing to the sweet notes. A little bit floral. That violet leaf is mainly what it's known for because of that petroleum feel that it gives off. But guys, this stuff, timeless to me. I remember, you know, every time I smell this, I think of the holidays. I think of Christmas. Not that the fragrance smells like Christmas, but my father was a big fan of Dior Fahrenheit. And I remember this to this day, just him wearing this. And I don't know if he was an oversprayer or if this fragrance was just that potent back then, or maybe a little bit of both. But yeah, this reminds me of my early childhood because I would be smelling this all the time. But I really remember smelling this around the holidays. So that's Dior Fahrenheit. Has to be here. It's a timeless classic. There's a lot of sentimental meaning tied to this fragrance here. So check it out. Let me know if you like it. But Dior Fahrenheit, guys, I still to this day love this juice. Sentimental meaning to me, so it'll always be in my collection. Again, is it one of my favorites? No, but I really enjoy this stuff. All right, and since we're going, you know, in order to wrap this up, this isn't really a classic. It was launched back in 2010. It smells classic. It smells of that era of fragrance, you know, the 50s, the 60s. This was actually inspired by a tailor shop, I believe in London. And that, of course, is one of my favorite Fougeres of all time, Sartorial by Penhaligon's. The bottle is just freaking amazing. I love the way this stuff smells. Aldehydes, you have metallic notes, but not metallic notes like you think, like the modern style of perfumery and metallic notes. The metallic notes here are supposed to give the idea of freshly pressed clothes. Like when you're picking your clothes up from the tailor shop, at least when I go into my tailor, yes, I still have a tailor. Sometimes, you know, with suits, all of them have to get tailored because of my height. And, you know, I take some dress shirts in there if I want. Anyway, back to the fragrance. When I go into my tailors to pick up my clothes, I could smell the steam. I could smell the metal that they use to press these clothes. And you have that experience within this bottle from those metallic notes that are here, like the iron press and everything like that. It's just amazing. But you also have this wonderful barbershop quality. Obviously, again, coming from the lavender. It's also herbaceous, and there's a lot of honey in here. You have beeswax, you have honey in here. So there's sticky, sweet honey, but also you have this herbaceous quality within the fragrance. You know, it has things like patchouli and that sort. Pepper is also in here as one of the star players to my nose anyway. But what a fantastic fougere this is. It does fougere things. I really didn't talk about performance at all here because who cares? But this one here, just like many fougeres that I've tried, this one is moderate sillage, moderate projection, but when I wear this, people around me seem to really love and enjoy this fragrance. Its magic, like I say a lot, oftentimes is definitely in the base, the dry down, and in the air. This stuff smells just fantastic in the air, but I don't, again, you know, I've said this before, I'm going to say it now. I don't really care if something gets me a ton of compliments because the way that I choose my fragrance is I choose it the night before, and then the next day when I wake up in the morning, so I wake up every morning at 5 a.m. When I wake up in the morning, I choose my outfit, and my outfit is based around the fragrance, and that goes for work, for days off, for vacation, always. Everything is always planned around the fragrance when it comes to my wardrobe, at least, and what I want to wear. So that's how important fragrance is to me and the impact that it has had on my life. As you heard some, you know, life stories here, and my God, I just love this stuff. Sartorial from Penhaligon's. Guys, check this one out if you haven't already. It is just amazing. If I could recommend, you know, maybe 3 fragrances, we'll keep it simple. If I could recommend one fragrance from the house, has to be Sartorial if you're looking for a great fougere, because this is a great one. I love this stuff. I really hope you guys enjoyed this list and got to know me a little bit better. The reason why I wanted to do this is because somebody mentioned in the comments in one of my other videos about classic fragrances, and I thought I would show you a little bit of classic fragrances that I own. Obviously, you know, Sartorial launched in 2010. Not really consider that a classic. It's only really 11 years old, but I wanted to include it just because it has that, you know, that vibe, that old school vibe about it. And I've very much, if you guys knew me personally, you would think that, or you would at least assume that I should have been born in that era, somewhere between the 40s and 50s, just, you know, because of who I am and the way that I think and the way that I, you know, speak and things like that. But hopefully you got to know me a little bit better through, you know, this video here. I gave you some snippets of me personally. So I like to do that from time to time. And now I'm just rambling. So now is a good time to say that's enough. But guys, listen, I'll be back here with you guys shortly. I'm trying to get back on a strict schedule here on YouTube. I'm trying my best. I don't have the most consistent schedule, but I'm really trying to give you guys some sort of consistent pattern here. Trying my best, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to hope for and try for the best. So I'm going to see you soon. Until then, take care of one another, love each other, respect everyone, be unique, smell unique. I love you guys. See you soon. Peace.